It's so windy up here. I can barely stay still, it's so windy.
Welcome everyone, Jason here. I'm in San Francisco today. I'm out seeing as many of the touristy sites as I can. For my first stop, why not see the first thing that anyone thinks of when they think about San Francisco? This. The Golden Gate Bridge. I had no idea how large this bridge was until I saw it with my own eyes. The bridge combined with the expansive views of the San Francisco Bay are a real sight to see. I walked out to the halfway point, but it still seemed like there were several miles of road left to get to the other side. I had limited time, so I had to leave to visit the rest of the sites I wanted to see. Everyone has seen an image somewhere of this famous row of homes. These are the famous San Francisco painted ladies, sometimes referred to as Postcard Row. This row of Victorian homes is located on Steiner Street across from the Alamo Square Park. The homes were built between 1892 and 1896 and were repainted starting in the 1960s in 3 or more colors that embellish their architectural details. And speaking of famous homes, just down this street is one of the most famous homes. All of the exterior shots of the home in the 1987 sitcom Full House were shot right here. I now find myself at the Presidio. It's a park and former U.S. Army fort on the northern tip of the San Francisco Peninsula. The base has a long history starting way back in 1776. As part of the 1989 military reduction program, Congress voted to end the Presidio's status as an active military installation. In 1994, it was transferred to the National Park Service, ending 219 years of military use. And on the same property, we have one of the items in my bucket list. The Walt Disney Family Museum. Let's take a walk inside. I'll show you a few interesting things along the way. This is Walt's father's fiddle, and photos of family members from his birth home. And here we have a replica of the ambulance that Walt drove in France during the war. They have these really cool animation displays throughout the entire museum illustrating various parts of Walt's life and career.
I have my drawing board right from a monk. The guy told me ideas, I draw them up. Did a lot of sketches. I have these good work carried used for everything. All the things that it did.
Various quotes from Walt at the beginning of his career.
What's your winter coal in early, Get your,
Walt bought his first camera for $300 and called it the Universal. This was the best elevator I've ever been in.
California Limited, just was free and happy, It was in 1923, but I failed. I think it's important to have a good failure.
This room and its frames demonstrate some of Walt's earliest attempts at animation. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Walt was a pioneer in the combination of live-action film and animation.
I was able to eventually build an organization.
This is arguably the best piece in this museum. The earliest known drawing of Mickey Mouse. This is something very special. I never thought I'd be this close to it.
In the days of Steamboat Willie, it was picture first. Then we used to put the sound on afterwards, and in those days you couldn't do what we call dubbing today, where you could mix a lot of tracks. It wasn't yet science that you could get away with, so we used to have to do everything at one time. And we used to have to run the cartoon. We'd have the fellows with the sound effects, we had the people with the voices, we had the orchestra going, and everybody had to synchronize.
This was another standout for me. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was one of my favorite films as a child, and this is one of the original clay sculptures for the Nautilus. I couldn't agree more, Walt. One of Disney's unique circle vision cameras. This is very special. Walt sat on a park bench exactly like this one while he was watching his daughters ride the carousel at Griffith Park in Hollywood, California. While this may not be the exact bench he sat on, it is one of the original benches from the park in that era. Walt literally thought of the idea of Disneyland while sitting on one of these benches. This was one of the coolest artistically rendered models of Disneyland I've ever seen. They have one of the original cars from the Autopia ride in Tomorrowland. Some exhibits for the 1964 World's Fair, which Disney had quite a big hand in. It's animatronic Abe Lincoln's skeleton.
Buenos dias, everyone. We audio animatronics characters are always ready to get on with the show. That is what we're made to do. Why, there's audio animatronic pirates, ghosts, singing bears, presidents, robots, elephants, and space aliens. Not to mention tiki birds. Audio animatronics isn't just something that's fun to say. It is an amazing entertainment technology dreamed up by Walt Disney himself. Take a look.
They say a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. But this little fellow here is worth a fortune. Because we poured a fortune into creating him.
This is the last known photograph taken of Walt Disney just before he passed away. And this next room was a little rough for me.
This is Pat McGinnis. At 9:35 a.m. today at St. Joseph's Hospital in Burbank, California, Walt Disney, the master of an entertainment empire, the most complete and influential showman of this generation, died. He was just 10 days past his 65th birthday.
And with that, I'll close with some views of Alcatraz. Unfortunately, it was one of the places I didn't have enough time to visit. There will be a next time, and I'm sure I could fill an entire vlog with just Alcatraz. As always, thanks for watching. If you like it here, please subscribe to the channel. By doing so, it'll keep you up to date on further adventures. Get instant updates for future uploads by ringing that notification bell. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. See you next time.